by Pepper and Tank. Would you like that fight against Tank?
Definitely. Tank.
The hype surrounding a potential clash between Rayo Valenzuela and Gervonta Tank Davis continues to grow with each passing day. Valenzuela, known for his confidence and unshakable belief in his own abilities, has clarified it that he's gunning for the top of the lightweight division. Though his time in the professional boxing spotlight has been relatively short compared to some of the sport's most seasoned stars, Valenzuela has already become a polarizing figure. His brash persona, combined with sharp boxing skills and an unrelenting attitude, has made him one of the most talked about names in the game today. His rapid rise has been fueled by a string of attention-grabbing victories and bold statements that have both fans and critics paying close attention. Valenzuela's self-confidence is difficult to ignore. "I have knockout power too," he said recently, flashing a grin and making no attempt to downplay his belief that he could stop Tank Davis in a potential fight. "I wouldn't be surprised if I knocked him out." Such remarks have raised eyebrows across the boxing world. Some see Valenzuela's confidence as admirable, the kind of self-belief required to reach the top. Others, however, interpret it as bordering on delusion, particularly given that Valenzuela was knocked out in the third round by De Los Santos, a fight in which he appeared unprepared for the kind of relentless pressure his opponent brought. Despite that setback, Valenzuela hasn't let the loss define him. Instead, he's used it as motivation, insisting that the version of himself who fought De Los Santos is an entirely different fighter than the one fans are seeing now. According to him, the experience taught him valuable lessons, and his evolution was evident in his victory over Isaac Cruz, a fighter known for his aggressiveness and toughness. Valenzuela believes he has turned the corner and is more focused than ever before. Critics argue that Valenzuela is getting ahead of himself. They point out that while his win over Cruz was impressive on paper, some believe Cruz was simply ill-prepared or unable to adjust to Valenzuela's style. They argue that Tank Davis presents an entirely different challenge, one with far more explosive power, better ring IQ, and the ability to end a fight with a single punch. Davis has a reputation for cutting off the ring effectively, neutralizing movement and landing devastating shots. For many, it's difficult to envision a scenario in which Valenzuela avoids Davis's power for 12 rounds or is able to hurt the champion in return. Nonetheless, Valenzuela isn't backing down. In fact, the criticism seems to fuel him. He continues to speak with conviction, refusing to temper his ambition even as some dismiss his chances. His call-out of Davis has become one of the most discussed topics in boxing today, and it's more than just a challenge. It's a declaration. Valenzuela wants more than to be a contender. He wants to be seen as the best, and he's targeting one of the most feared names in the division to prove it. For him, the Davis fight represents an opportunity to silence his detractors, demonstrate that he can thrive under pressure, and stake his claim among the top fighters in the world. The debate surrounding Valenzuela isn't just about whether he can beat Tank Davis, it's also about how he fights. His win over Isaac Cruz was a tactical masterclass in the eyes of some, but others saw it differently. Cruz himself was vocal after the fight, criticizing Valenzuela for what he called a runner style. According to Cruz, Valenzuela spent the fight avoiding exchanges rather than engaging in a true battle. Cruz's criticisms echo a sentiment shared by a segment of the boxing fan base that values aggression and power over technical finesse. To these fans, a fighter who doesn't engage toe-to-toe lacks heart. However, a more nuanced view suggests that Valenzuela's performance was a smart, disciplined effort rooted in ring IQ. He didn't simply survive against Cruz, he outboxed him, controlling the tempo and making Cruz miss throughout the fight. Movement, timing, and distance control were the keys to that victory, and for those who appreciate the science of boxing, Valenzuela's display was highly impressive. While Cruz may feel slighted by the loss, the reality is that his pressure-heavy style was exposed when faced with a fighter who could neutralize his aggression. Cruz's frustration speaks to a broader conflict within boxing, the age-old clash between raw power and calculated strategy. Some fans are drawn to all-out brawls, while others prefer the cerebral, tactical approach. Valenzuela's style falls firmly in the latter category, and though it may not please every crowd, it's the kind of approach that could give someone like Tank Davis real problems. Davis, of course, is no ordinary opponent. Known for his explosive knockouts and unrelenting finishing ability, Tank has carved out a reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the lightweight division. His power, combined with speed and footwork, makes him a nightmare for anyone who steps into the ring with him. He's not just a puncher, he's a technician with the ability to adapt and punish mistakes. That's what makes a potential showdown with Valenzuela so fascinating. It's a classic matchup of styles. The calculated mobile boxer versus the aggressive, heavy-handed finisher. For Valenzuela to stand a chance, he'll need to execute his game plan perfectly. That means using his reach, staying on the move, avoiding Davis's power shots, and controlling the distance. It's a tall order, but not impossible. Fighters with superior movement and timing have troubled punchers in the past, and if Valenzuela can stick to his strategy, he may be able to frustrate Davis and force him into uncomfortable territory. The key will be discipline. Any lapse in concentration could result in a fight-ending shot from Davis. Despite the doubts and criticism, Valenzuela's belief in himself is unwavering. His confidence may rub some people the wrong way, but it's also what makes him so compelling. He's not just talking for the sake of headlines. He truly believes he belongs among the sport's elite, and he carries himself with the swagger of someone who plans to prove it. If he can rise to the occasion and deliver under the brightest lights, a win over Tank Davis could be a defining moment in his career, one that cements his status as a legitimate threat in the division. The future remains uncertain. Will Valenzuela's technical prowess and self-belief be enough to topple a fighter as dangerous as Tank Davis? Or will Davis showcase once again why he's considered one of the most feared punchers in the game? Only time will tell. But what's clear is that the potential clash between these two fighters has all the ingredients for a memorable night in boxing. Both bring something different to the table: power versus precision, pressure versus poise, and the result could go in any direction. Regardless of the outcome, Valenzuela's boldness, ambition, and willingness to test himself at the highest level are earning him respect, even from those who doubt his chances. He's made it clear, he's not here to just participate. He's here to take over.